My name is Fahim Curtis Kadir, and welcome to Undesign the Redline. My personal investment in this topic is I'm a Daytonian, and as a Daytonian and also a local research history guy, so much of what we're going to be discussing over the next several months with Undesign the Redline has a really unique place here in the city. We're uniquely positioned to talk about the history of redlining and also uniquely positioned to talk about the solutions for redlining as well. When we talk about undesigning the red line, I think the first part, not like this 10-point program, right? Because it makes it so simple and digestible chunks, is what is taught you, right? The internalized piece. What are some things that you maybe implicitly and maybe even explicitly have thought about redlining, or those people who've been affected by redlining? And this last part here, I think is the toughest one. Not being afraid to look in the mirror and understanding how you may have benefited from some of the issues of redlining or how you may have been negatively affected by some of the issues of redlining. I also like this idea of the redesign, right? Because that also implicitly states that this needs to be intentional. I think one of the most encouraging aspects that it can be done, right? This isn't pie in the sky. This isn't something that we're putting forward just to make you feel good about a really horrible situation. There's actual steps that can be done to put forward initiatives that work. And we have so many examples that are listed here in the exhibit on a smaller scale that can be taken to a macro scale that show the effect. Particularly when we talk about community co-ops, we look at some of these instances that have happened. With Dayton being so uniquely positioned, we have a lot of people on the grassroots level doing the work. Whether it be the Gym City Market, which is taking national and local acclaim, right here on the Salem Street corridor, whether it be the work of a Deja Cummings or a Chaz Amos, local community organizers who are actually with the people, getting to things and the needs that are coming directly from the community. And me being a West Sider myself, growing up in Westwood off of Brooklyn Avenue, I've seen what redlining can affect, the negative effect it can have, and I've also been in Dayton long enough and invested long enough to begin to see the upswing as well. Whether it be the Salem Avenue Street corridor, whether it be the West 3rd Street corridor as well, that there's an opportunity and there's hope and fruit that's being born that shows that Dayton can revitalize itself, and not just revitalize itself in a gentrification standpoint, but actually empower the people in these communities that have been negatively affected over the generations by redlining. It implies altruism, right? Putting others' needs before your own or the community needs before your own. It implies a certain level of selflessness as well in terms of the initial investment. Because redlining didn't happen in a vacuum, unpacking the effects of redlining aren't going to happen in a vacuum as well. The reality is maybe some of us won't be in the city to see it or maybe even live to see it. And that's an unfortunate reality. That's the harsh reality of the work that we're doing, particularly at the community level. But I think if there's an implicit understanding, this is for the common good, right? When we talk about those shared values, that's where that comes into play. Really investing in Dayton. Not necessarily investing in what's best for me, what's best for Dayton. Implicitly understanding that what's best for Dayton by default will affect you in a positive way. But that takes time, right? That's understanding that the community that I live is worthy. Where I live is worthy, that we're not waiting on Superman, that we're going to be invested in our own self-preservation, our own self-success, and redesign these communities as best as we can with the limited financial resources that we have to our benefit. And that's where the people power comes in. There are groups doing work that maybe not have the biggest platform, and this is an opportunity with the amount of attention that this will be bringing to the local Miami Valley area for those groups to be highlighted and people can contribute and get involved in them in a meaningful way. So as you can see at the bottom, there's several sticky notes listed, but with the brain power that we have in the community and the amount of people who are doing the good work, there's no reason why this whole board shouldn't be filled up within the next couple of weeks. So this is everybody's opportunity to come in and add your piece to the edifice, right? Add your part to this living history so we can continue to accrue these resources and pour into each other to make this the Dayton that we want to see.